Hey everyone, Dave here with another Blu-ray DVD collection update video. In this one, we've got a whole bunch of titles to take a look at that have just been sent over to me from the great team over at sanity.com.au. We've got some stuff from Village Roadshow, Warner Brothers, some stuff from Sony, Universal Sony Pictures, Entertainment with some Paramount stuff, all of that. Whole bunch of stuff to take a look at, so let's get into it. Alright, so as I said at the top of that, we're going to take a look at a bunch of stuff that's been sent to me from Sanity, the awesome team over at Sanity. Of course, you won't find Sanity in your local shopping centres anymore, but they do have a big online presence. So head over to sanity.com.au. They're still one of the very few retailers here in Australia that's actually selling and supporting physical media. So it's absolutely worth your time heading over there and supporting the great team at Sanity. Firstly, we're going to be taking a look at this handful here, which is some stuff that's been sent over from Village Roadshow, who of course distribute all the Warner Brothers stuff here in Australia. First up, it is Barbie. This is the biggest movie of the year. This raked in over $1 billion at the box office, which is getting rarer and rarer these days. And no wonder why. This is just such a fun movie. It's such a fun, vibrant, explosive film. Everything about this is fantastic. The performances, the music, the visuals, everything. It's just such a real sugar high of a film. And I think it's one that I'm going to revisit over and over and over again because it's just one of those kind of guilty pleasure, fun films. Never takes itself too seriously. It's a massive satire, and I think it's a very, very, very funny film. And if you're one of the very few people in the world who has not seen this, again, biggest movie of the year, raked in over $1 billion at the box office, which is getting rarer and rarer these days, I would highly recommend this. And definitely pick it up in 4K because it sounds great, it looks great, the colors are vibrant, it's explosive. Such a fun blast of a film. Definitely head out and pick that one up. The next one we've got right here is The Meg 2, The Trench. This is the latest Jason Statham movie. I've been a big fan of Jason Statham for a long time. His movies are not great. They are some of the craziest, stupidest action movies that are around. But I think all of his movies are just a good time. They're just a unabashedly fun, stupid time. They never take themselves seriously, and they're just a lot of fun. The Meg 2, this one, the first movie was just such a dumb, stupid, fun movie that really, I feel like, embraced its silliness. It knew that it was a dumb movie and it embraced it. I feel like with the Meg 2, they have tried to go 100 times over, but in some respect, they kind of lost their way, and it feels a little bit more serious than the first movie, which is kind of weird, particularly when you've got stuff like dinosaurs, as well as like the big, massive, sharks and all of that. But look, it is a fun time. If you enjoyed the first movie, definitely worth picking up. The 4K is really great of this as well, so I'd highly recommend picking that one up if you're gonna pick the movie up. The next one right here is the latest Mortal Kombat Legends animated film. This is Cage Match. Never been a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I played the game when I was a kid with my friends, but that's sort of like the limit of my knowledge when it comes to Mortal Kombat. I've watched the live action film. I haven't watched any of the other animated films, so they've done a whole series of these Mortal Kombat Legends movies. This is the first one that I've actually had a chance to take a look at. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole film, but I've had a little look at it, and it looks like a lot of fun. This is kind of like an 80s set action kind of comedy movie. You've got Joel McHale here as Johnny Cage, which is really cool. I think his voice is really well suited to the character. I believe he's played the character in one or a couple of the other movies as well. And it's just really fun. From what I've seen, it really embraces that kind of like 80s style of over-the-top, action film with synth music, all that stuff. The colors are really vibrant and beautiful, and it really kind of makes me want to go out and check out some of the other Mortal Kombat animated films as well and get them into the collection. But you can definitely check that one out right now. That's not available on 4K in Australia, I don't believe. There is a 4K overseas for that one though, if you're kind of that way inclined and you want to import it. Let's take a look at this pile here, which is from Universal Sony Pictures Home Entertainment, who distribute stuff from Paramount, Entertainment One, DreamWorks, Studio Canal as well. So there'll be a little bit of everything in here. First up, we're going to take a look at this one. This is the big release from last week. This is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Part 2 has been delayed until 2025. It was supposed to come out next year, and they've actually retitled it. It's not going to be Dead Reckoning Part 2 anymore. So it's a bit frustrating that you've got Dead Reckoning Part 1 on the shelf, and then you will never have a Part 2 sitting on the shelf, which is a strange thing. But anyway, that doesn't detract from how much fun this movie is. Had a chance to check this out. Of course, it's in my hands. Got a chance to check it out for a second time just this past weekend, and it's just as fun the second time as it is the first time. It's probably not my favorite Mission Impossible film of the whole franchise, but it is great fun. There's great action sequences. There's great comedy. The score is fantastic, of course, and Tom Cruise is always great in these. His stunts are fantastic. His performance is always over the top and really hammy, and you just love it. But we've got this really great crew that is surrounding him. Not only do we have Simon Pegg and Ving Rhames joining the team here, but we've got Hayley Atwell, Pom Klementieff, we have got Vanessa Kirby. It's just a really fantastic cast in this film right here, and I had a blast watching it the second time. This is awesome because it's a 3-disc set. The 4K collection right here. You've got the 4K disc of the film, you've got the Blu-ray of the movie, and then a bonus features disc. There's not much in the way of bonus features. It's only like half an hour of kind of little mini featurettes that I believe most of them are on YouTube anyway. But they do get their own disc, which is good because it gives the movie kind of space to breathe on its own 4K and Blu-ray disc in there. Definitely worth checking out on 4K. It looks great. Image is really sharp and crisp. The scenes that are colourful look great. There's a sequence in the middle, very vibrant kind of neon lighting. Looks terrific in 4K. And yeah, definitely, of course, the sound mix is terrific in this too. So definitely worth picking that one up right there. Another one right here, I haven't had the chance to check this one out just yet because it's only just landed in my lap this morning. I wanted to get it into this video to get out as quickly as possible. And this one is Gran Turismo. I don't know a whole lot about this. I know that it's based on it's sort of semi-based on the video game, but then it's also based on a true story of someone who was like, I think he was such a huge fan of the video game and he ends up actually racing cars or something. I'm not too sure. But it looks fun. By all reports, it's a lot of fun. The reviews for this one have been really quite good. Of course, we've got a 4K disc and a Blu-ray disc in there as well, which is awesome because some of the studios, well, actually, you'll notice with Barbie, I should have pointed this out earlier, and the Meg is exactly the same. Only single discs. Warner Brothers on the local market. Actually, I think in the US as well, they're only offering single discs on the 4K releases now, so you don't get the Blu-ray with them as well, which is a bit annoying. I don't know. I don't have a 4K player in every room, and I like to just kind of have the option to have the movie on Blu-ray. So it is a little bit frustrating, but anyway, make do with what you got. That's fine. But this one right here, Universal Sony Pictures are still issuing the 2-disc sets. For now, who knows how much longer they'll be doing that for. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Had a very quick look at it on the 4K tally, and it looks really, really great. So if you're a fan of this, if you want to check it out, definitely worth grabbing the 4K of that. This one here has just come out as well. This is Asteroid City. It's the new film from Wes Anderson. Haven't had a chance to watch this one either. Again, this one's only just landed in my lap today. But I love Wes Anderson's work, and I'm sure I'm going to really, really love this. It's a great quirky style and really great comedy and all of that. And the cast in this is insane. Of course, you've got Jason Schwartzman, who's always in the Wes Anderson movies. You've got Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Jeffrey Wright, Tilda Swinton, Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Adrian Brody. The list just goes on and on. Jeff Goldblum, Matt Dillon, Margot Robbie. It's just a really, really fantastic cast, and I can't wait to get into that. No 4K on the Australian market. I'm not sure if there is one overseas, but only Blu-ray here in Australia. That's okay for me. I'm happy to just get that into the collection on Blu-ray. These are a couple of ones that came through a couple of weeks ago. We'll go with this one first. This is the latest kind of adult, raunchy rom-com movie that has come out from Sony Pictures, starring Jennifer Lawrence. One of my absolute favorites, particularly of like the kind of group of actors that came through when I was growing up. Watched all of her movies. I will always turn up for one of her films. I think she's just so much fun, so just quirky, and just really, her comedic chops are so great. She has not had a lot of chances to kind of flex the comedic chops. I think this is kind of thinking back on her kind of filmography, I can't think of another movie that's like sort of a straight out, all out comedy. Done a lot of kind of comedy dramas and stuff like that. A few little rom-coms. But I think this is the first kind of all out, full-on comedies where she's really been able to just kind of flex those comedic abilities of hers. And she's just so fun in this. She gets hired to sort of... There's this kind of 18-year-old guy who is very, very inexperienced, and his parents find this woman to... this like 30-year-old woman to come and help him get the experience that he needs. And it's so fun, and it throws you for so many curveballs, so many things that you don't expect. And it's very kind of... To an extent, it's a bit predictable, but there are a few unpredictable things scattered throughout, which makes this one a lot of fun to watch, and it's hilarious. It's the best kind of raunchy comedy we've had in a long time. We don't get a lot of these anymore because, you know, people are just... I think studios are scared. I think filmmakers are scared these days to push the envelope with stuff like this. But there is always a place for that kind of over-the-top kind of raunchy adult film. And I'd love to see more of them. I'd love to see Jennifer Lawrence do more comedy like that. I think it'd be great. And also we got this one right here, Dracula, Voyage of the Demeter. This was released as the last Voyage of Demeter overseas. I just guessed that here in international markets they wanted to market it with that Dracula title right there to kind of get more people into the cinema or get more people to pick up the disc. This is based on a single chapter from Bram Stoker's original Dracula novel. Great novel. It's one of my favorites of all time. Essentially, it's the sequel. If you've read Dracula, or if you've just seen like any of the Dracula movies, they kind of brush over it in most of the films. The original Universal film from the 1930s, but I don't think even really had a sequence based on this. The Ford Coppola film briefly touched on it, but this is the sequence where Dracula is moving from his castle in Transylvania to Carfax Abbey in England, and he's traveling on the boat and basically wreaks havoc across the entire crew. Kills a whole bunch of them, whatever else. I think it's really kind of genius. I don't know how this has never been done before. I think it's such a cool sequence in the book. It's a really great chapter in the book. And it's something that just so visually has so much great vision that you can throw into it, and I'm just surprised this has never been done before. Whether it be like kind of a fleshed out sequence in a film or like this, a really isolated kind of thing. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of Dracula, particularly when it comes to the original, like the Bram Stoker Dracula, not like the Hammer horror, over the top kind of Dracula. I really love this, you know, grounded gothic sort of Bram Stoker's traditional Dracula, and this movie I had a lot of fun with. It's not the absolute best, but it is fun. There are some brutal kills in this. It is a really, really violent movie, but I had so much fun with this. It's got a really good cast in there too. The only one of kind of real note is David Dastmalchian, who does so many kind of weird and wacky roles in these kinds of movies. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that, and I would recommend that. It was decent fun. Again, look, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's been sent in to me from sanity.com.au over the last couple of weeks. Some really good viewing there, and I would highly recommend checking some of these out whenever you can. Head over to sanity.com.au and pick them up, and whatever else you can get your hands on over there as well. Thanks again to the team over at Sanity for sending these over. Thanks everybody out there for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.